We conjugate verbs with it.
I gotta get the
opportunity to screen something that he's written.
You do you, I'll do me, and we'll just have fun.
But anyway, without further ado, I give you Mr. Trey Haley. So let's go. Yeah.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Florida Entertainment Summit for inviting us to be here. You know, really appreciate it. And I'm just gonna throw it right over here to introduce you to Christian, who obviously wrote the script, and is also one of the executive producers, who brought the project to our company. I mean, obviously, like she said, we worked together on a project in the past, a couple of projects, and this one fit perfectly for us. And appreciate you for trusting me as a director to do the project, of course. But tell them, obviously Christian's body of work from everything on BET to
everything on BET.
Yeah, everything. Yeah. But he's got a lot of things coming up too, from Dysfunctional Friends, which is a great film. If you guys haven't seen that, but tell him what else is going on with you, brother.
Well, I gotta thank first off Florida Entertainment Summit. Thank you guys for bringing us down here and supporting the project and helping us get the word out even further. We're excited for it hitting Netflix and the other outlets that it's going to be hitting soon. And they bought it all out. It's sold out of Walmart and Amazon and everything, so it's getting a phenomenal response. So we love everybody for supporting it. Tridestin, Image and Swirl, they didn't have to do the project, so they I had worked with them on a bunch of other stuff and gave them a script, and they were like, yeah, we're gonna get around to yours. And they kept their word. In our industry, people say a lot of stuff and it doesn't always come through. So for them to do it and then do it in a way that they were passionate about it and treat it like it was their project and take good care of it meant a lot. So I'm blessed to have worked with you guys. Trey the director, Ken Stipe, our director of photography, was a beast. These two were like Batman and Robin together. It was crazy. You see the value of having a good director and a good director of photography. So just the whole team was amazing. Case, for those of you who don't know, this is Morris Peterson, longtime friend of mine, fellow Flintstone, and he's one of the teammates. He was Bill in there, and he happened to be down here, so thank you for joining us today, sir.
Oh, man, thank you for having me.
What I wanted to ask, because I'm also a filmmaker too, my name's Darren Saunders, and it was a pleasure meeting both of you. You touched on a lot of subjects. I wanted to find out how much was your budget actually, if you can discuss it. Also, was making the decision to do your film with stars help you get your distribution deal? Because there's a lot of people that just feel like they can just make a film and when they're done with it they can just distribute it. So can you kind of touch on that also?
Okay, well, as far as the budget, I would say it was about $300,000 for this, and most people are like looking at that like, how did y'all do that for $300,000? But once again, the director of photography, this guy Ken Stipe, he's shot several films for Screen Gems. Relationships, somebody that I knew I wanted to work with, and I really worked him over to make sure that I was going to bring him to a good situation where he could get something out of it too. How do you add value to somebody else, something that they didn't have? That's one thing. That's the one reason why I'm saying this is a big part of distribution. The look of the movie. What's the quality level of this thing going to be? As far as getting distribution, it's either way. Some people rather go and get a distributor. Maybe they have a script. They go get some actors attached, 2 or 3 people. Go to a distributor and say, are y'all interested in? Would you be interested in distributing this if upon completion of the project? So or whatever. Sometimes like this situation, we actually, because we had a relationship with the distributor, they helped to fund the film. So that's another thing. But then there's people who just shoot it. But if you're going to shoot it ahead of time, I would suggest that you really think, it's show business, and the word business is a bigger part of that name than show. You know what I'm saying? And you got to know that unless you're about to bring something extremely unique to the table, like a hook that's like out of this world. Unless it's probably some horror type situation where it's, you know, people just buy it and they don't care who's in it, you know. You got to think about the cast who's in this movie and mix it in with some fresh faces and just make sure that it's something that a person would buy, you know. With this, would you see somebody, I mean, you know your gut reaction when you know something is on TV and you say, oh, I want to watch that movie because so-and-so's in it. Unfortunately, that's just how the industry is. But that's what I said also, there's ways to also break new faces and mix it in too, where you can do both, is what I'm, you know, so.
And work your relationships. I mean, you know, honestly, the reason Brian, there was a cover of one of his songs in there, and then he made another song specifically for this. And to have a Grammy Award winning music icon like that, put some music, I was floored. He's like, man, hey, I got something I want to put in. I was like, we can't afford to put no music from you. He's like, no, I want to put something in the in the film just for this, because he was already, so we worked it into the deal as far as him acting, but for him to bless us with that, you know, was I just said blessed, but it was a blessing. So you got to work your relationships in that regard as well. Your team, your artwork, your everything. If you're gonna shoot it yourself, your presentation should be something that looks like it's already on the shelves at Walmart.
Oh, they came here to see you. You see these ladies? Use this.
Okay, so quality control. When you turn in a film, and the biggest hurdle that a lot of independent filmmakers have is they turn in a film and it doesn't meet the standards of the distributor, meaning they can't do much with it for the networks and other things because the sound quality might have a problem. Even the look of the film, like sometimes it's too dark or it can be too light, you know, and they have a mechanism that can read this thing. It's like a algorithm that they stick it in and it tells you this is wrong, this is right, and they'll send it back to you. Yeah. And we had a film a couple years ago, they sent it back, and when I tell you we did not budget the amount of what we had to fix to make this thing, they had already bought it. And they were like, we love it, but you got to fix these things before we can do anything really with it. And I mean, it was an expense because we had to fix some of the colors that, I mean, and this is why you need a skilled people in every position, from your sound person. I mean, people like to get their friends and their best friends and their homies with the cameras and stuff and say, hey man, just grab a camera and shoot, but you don't even know that there's a technicality to it that you have to know in the end result what you're getting. So they have to know when they're looking at something that's too dark or this is too bright. This is not going to pass. Sound, you got to know what is bad sound, what's good, or what if you're in a bad location where it is a lot of noise going on, then you got to be prepared how to fix that. You already have to be in the end mindset of, I know what I'm going to do to fix these things, because I know if I try to take it to a distributor, the first thing they're going to do is not only just looking at it, they're looking at all the technical aspects of this and saying, can I do anything with this? How far can it go? You know, and so their biggest money gain is now on the independent is television. So they're gonna make a lot of money on television, but TV, they are so strict on passing the quality control. So HBO, Showtime, they're like even strict. I mean, they get the bigger the network, the stricter they get. You know what I'm saying? So
I feel that.